How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Religion 150, right? Yes, World Religions. Introduction to World Religions. This is me. I'm Professor Skinner. I'm here. I'm a person. I like talking about religion and learning about religions, and hopefully you will too over the next 16 weeks as we work through some of the world ones and some of the smaller ones as well. We'll touch them all. So yeah, this week, just kind of, use this week. I know it's the first week back. Try to kind of get familiar with Lamaku each week. The format's going to be the same. There's sort of an introduction, and then a student resources section, submodule, and then the lessons where the information is there. There's a textbook, so we will be reading chapters from a textbook. But then I've also supplemented those textbooks with other readings, primary source readings. Uh, some videos, other things I find interesting that I've put on there. Yeah, and each one are in the lesson. Some lessons is just a lecture, and then also below the lecture are PowerPoints and PDFs of the lecture. If you want to use them for studying, you can. They're pretty straightforward. And then yeah, and then all the other information is there as well. So it should all be, you should be able to find everything on Lamaku as well. So just a few things within the student resources here. This is where you'll find this video I'm making right now. This midweek check-in every Wednesday. I'll kind of upload something. I teach till noon, so a little bit after noon I'll get into this, upload it, where I just kind of talk about things we're talking about in the week, review them, or if there's any other information that I need to share as well. So, for example, this week within the student resources, also there's student announcements. So I put a bunch of announcements in there. I put the KIO Weekly there for so you can look at all the announcements from the community colleges. Anything I find that I find interesting, I pull out. For example, I put all the scholarship information there. So definitely, I tell all my classes, you get 0% of the scholarships you don't apply for. So just by putting your name in the hat, you're already kind of halfway there to getting them. So look at those. There's workshops on there. So definitely apply for the UH scholarship. And there's other scholarships on the Kahio Weekly as well. I think I gave a couple classes that look kind of fun, some Hawaiian studies stuff as well that's going on. So, I just kind of keep them there. And then, yeah, and then this week particularly, there's this Ka'au framework overview. And again, this is sort of something we're doing at the Hawaii Community College, but other colleges are in universities in Hawaii are definitely adapting it. It's kind of this idea of thinking about your college career a little more holistically. That Ka'au itself means story, right? So the idea is that what we're trying to get is move away from this sort of college model of I just got to get these classes out of the way, get this check off all these boxes so I can get on to somewhere else. But really, kind of thinking about colleges as part of a chapter in your story, right? The things you do learn and do in spring of 2026, right? Building on from what you did in fall of 2025, and you'll be moving on in the summer and in the next fall. So maybe particularly in this class, I mean, I know it's a required course, or it gives you a credit, right, for graduation. Great, that's awesome. But what can you get out of this class? Maximize that as well. So each story, right? There's a hua, a motivation. So think about kind of what one thing that that I would like you to do if you have some time is just spend a minute or two and just write down, what is your hua? Why are you here? Why did you apply to come to Hawaii Community College? What do you want to get out of it? Just kind of spend a second to reflect, like what is it? What am I doing here? What's my motivation? Because that should be able to be a good driver for something to remember. And writing it down helps sort of get it there. And then you have the ha'alele, the sort of departing, which we're in now. I mean, we're getting into these canoes, and we have stuff with us. We have knowledge and experience and things that we're going with. So don't forget that, things that got you there before we go on the huaka'i, the travel itself, which we got 16 weeks. Some weeks are going to be smooth sailing. Some weeks might be a little rockier. Just take that into consideration. Prepare as best you can. And then, we've got 16 weeks. We'll all work together to get there. If something comes up that you need some help with, feel free to email me during the week, during this huaka'i as well. And then, coming back, and then the reflection. What did we learn about? Hopefully you'll know more about world religions 16 weeks from now. So it's kind of the information there. And then, this week's information, the first one, just sort of what is religion? Broad ideas. I use the textbook as well. I think the textbook breaks that down effectively into sort of function of religion and substance of religion. A lot of religions, and that all religions share these two broad categories, but obviously have their own elements within them. So function of religion, these broader questions: why are we here? What is my purpose? What happens after death? All religions kind of, that's the function of them, is they answer some of these larger questions. And then the substance side of them, right? All religions have, signs and symbols and architecture, churches or mosques or temples and synagogues and beliefs. Every religion has some sort of text or stories that's associated with them. The Bible is a good example of that. The Quran, and then also rituals and beliefs that are associated. So I kind of go through those broad categories as things to think about, because as we go through each religion, we'll be able to kind of identify the functions and substance of each as well. And then and then the last one, just kind of what world religions, a quick overview. Each one of those will kind of break down a little more succinctly as we go along. So I think that's kind of the info there. And then this the reading, we do have a textbook for this course. It's online. There's a PDF for it. It's open note. You don't have to buy it. The rest of the materials are there, videos and various stuff. There are extra readings. Like this week, I have a reading from Dalai Lama, who is a religious figure of the Tibetan Buddhism, kind of very well known in the religious and spiritual world. He kind of, his writings and reflections about other religions he's encountered along the way, and sort of the harmony in which religions exist and can coexist. Then a video of just sort of somebody, a scholar, religious studies scholar, explaining their attitudes and ideas of religion and the function of religion as well. So that those were kind of nice ways to begin everything. And then your assignment this week is sort of a reflection / introduction. I gave some definitions of religion, but I'm just come up with your own. There's no right answer here. I mean, as we will see, everyone's definition is valid. I wanted in your own words. I don't just Google what is the definition of religion and then put it up there. Like, what do you think about it, and why do you think that way? And if you're interested, if you want to elaborate, if you have a particular religion or want to talk about it, that's free as well. And again, you can record it, so you don't have to write anything down besides your definition. Just kind of put a name to a face, so that it's online, but we don't have to all be sort of disconnected as well. I think that's it. I'm looking forward to the rest of the semester.